Muskoka Bros, and I'm putting together a quick video on changing headlights. The side-by-side and the Jeep both need new headlights. The driver's side is out here. The Jeep has aftermarket LED bulbs. They're just the plug-in bulb. They're not the full sealed unit. And the side-by-side has the original headlights on it, 3 or 4 of which are burnt out on the side-by-side. So for the side-by-side, I went on to Amazon and I found lights for a Polaris Ranger. Now this is a Bobcat 3400, but Bobcat had Polaris make this model for them. So it's basically a Polaris Ranger. So I bought Polaris Ranger LED headlight bulbs for it, and I'm hoping it's going to work. I'm really not sure if it is or not. With the Jeep, I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found the full 7-inch round sealed lights, used technically, but he never put them in his Jeep, for $100. So that's probably a quarter of what they go for anywhere else. So these are Daystar, and these are Yaita Motor. Both, I'm sure, from China. Both, I'm sure, are not top notch, but this is what I'm playing with right now. So the side-by-side needs Torx, T-O-R-X, Torx bits to get the cowling off the hood so that I can get at the lights. And the Jeep, the hood pops up and then the grill pops out. And then I'm assuming there's 1 or 2 screws that are holding this headlight back with like a metal ring. So from changing headlights in the past, I'm sure that's the way it is. And these Jeeps are not technological phenoms, so I'm guessing it's just like it was in the 50s. So anyways, I'm gonna give this a go, see what happens. I'm gonna keep taking some video and some photos throughout the whole thing here, and maybe I can just show you what I'm doing on a beautiful Wednesday morning when I should be at work right now. Ta-da! Okay, so good news. I have full access to the headlights right there on both sides, so I am loving that. Loving that. So I'm hoping it's just a quick in and out. Okay, so that was about 2 seconds of work to undo that right there. I'm gonna pop in the new one, see what she looks like. Okay, so I got the light here, and I'm thinking, what does it do? Here's the new one. You can see it's a nice LED, looks like plug and play. So, where would this one go? Alright. Okay, so sad news, it is not the right light. Again, like I mentioned earlier, this is technically a Bobcat 3400. Polaris made it based on their Polaris Ranger 500, and in many ways they're identical, but I've had a hard time finding parts for this because Polaris dealerships don't know anything about this, and Bobcat dealerships are few and far between, so I've had to buy parts for it at a fairly high rate of expense. And so in the future, I'm not going to buy a rebranded product. I'm going to buy from the original. But I'll show you what these, if you can see that. The one on the left, the original, has 3 prongs. I don't know if that's showing up. The one on the right here, the LED for the Polaris Ranger, has 2 prongs, and they are not in the same spot. So I waited about 2 weeks on Amazon for these. Cost me $60 for 3 lights, and I guess I'm gonna send them back and see how Amazon works that way. Okay, so that is disappointing, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this burnt out light into Royal Distributors in Newmarket, and see what I can find for replacement right there, if these guys can look at it right on the spot. So I guess now I'm onto the Jeep. Flathead screwdriver. So you can see on the Jeep here, we pop up these little tabs all the way along here, all the way across, and the grill just kind of pops out. Just like in 1945, when the Jeeps basically won the World War II. Alright, so I got the grill off now, and it just kind of popped all out, and everything just kind of, it's there by little plastic rivets. And now it's a Torx T10 that's going to unscrew this metal ring that holds the headlights in. And yeah, I probably should have some WD-40 here to sort of pre-loosen these, but I'm going to go have a look. Okay, bum, bum, bum. And it's even got that neat little straw holder on the top instead of the classic tape that like fails immediately. Give you a little picture here of what's going on. There's the little screws, and this is the ring right here. The ring to rule all others that's holding this stock headlight casing back. Oh, and don't mind that noise, that's just the engine struggling. Alright. Voila. Beauty. Alright, this takes me back to when I was a teen, driving ancient things and doing all the work myself, and I've really gotten away from that. But actually, to tell you the truth, David's inspired me to get using the shop we have a lot more, and just do what we can, work with our hands, and save a few bucks in the meantime. And for something like this, there's no reason to go pay somebody to do this. This is really easy stuff. This is a 2010 Jeep, and outside of the electronics, much of it would be the same as something from decades previous. And that's what I like about it. It's strong and simple. Alright, I'm going to start into loosening this off, and I'm just going to see what happens. It's still plugged in the back to all the electronics. Last time I changed the bulb on this, I didn't have to do this work. I just had to get in from the back here. And I just put an LED bulb in. But, and I watched a YouTube video to figure that one out. So I'm hoping maybe this YouTube video will help someone else out too. Oh, and there's one more screw that's holding this ring on here. Just a second. Okay, so I got the first bit of new wiring plugged in right here. Now, the light has the male end right here. There's the female end. I'm just going to plug it in just to confirm. We've got power. Alright, now where can I put this down without completely ruining everything? Stay. I'm going to go check to see if I have lights. Okay. Let there be LED. I've got power through all these connections here, so I'm just going to take everything apart, figure out how I can clip these connections together with little zip ties so they don't pull apart easily. This thing's always on gravel roads bouncing around. and then I'm going to seal everything back in. Okay, so electrical tape. I'm going to tape these joints together here, and this joint right here. I'm going to tape them together and see if that won't provide the adhesion I need to keep this connection from coming apart. Okay, so there's a joint taped together right there. I'm thinking good enough for the girls I go with. Alright, I've got all the wiring pushed back in. I've got, this has its own little housing right here that actually slides into some stock little holes in this plastic. Now I got to put this ring back on. Alright. Okay. Oh. These are lining up. Perfect. Okay. Why aren't the little ringies lining up with all the holes? That's a mystery. Let me go look at the other side. Booyah. Alright, beautiful. Okay, I've got both headlights in. I'm just going to put the grill back on, and then I think we're good to go. Okay, got everything fastened back in. I only had to use the hammer about 15 times, but she feels fairly secure. I'm just gonna clean the headlights off. My greasy hands. All right, and I'll give you a little look here. Alright, so all in, this was about 45 minutes, and I'm guessing probably anyone who's handy could have probably done it in about 20 minutes. So, but anyways, only lost one screw, everything went back in. You can see the headlights, they're nice lights. I like the black background, looks pretty cool. So yeah, hopefully these don't give me as much of a problem as the LED bulbs did. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you like this video or any other Muskoka Bro video, like and subscribe on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Comment on the headlights you got custom for a Jeep or any other vehicle, and let me know how you like them, if they're Chinese or whatnot. But again, most importantly guys, you just got to get out there.